Look, if you spend more than 5 minutes on internet gun forums, you will inevitably hear someone claim that the .38 Special is a fossil. They will tell you it belongs in a museum, right next to the muskets. Usually, this loud opinion comes from guys whose closest encounter with terminal ballistics is playing video games, not running actual gelatin tests on the range. But let me tell you from years of carrying and studying self-defense encounters, anyone calling this cartridge obsolete changes their tune real quick when they are staring down the barrel of a classic wheel gun. More violent threats on American soil than practically any other handgun round out there. It did not stick around for over a century just because we like the way it looks. It stuck around because it is a proven lifesaver in the grittiest, most desperate situations imaginable. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are taking a hard tactical reality check on the .38 Special. We are going to dissect exactly why seasoned professionals still trust their lives to it, and why the modern striker-fired crowd completely misses the point of a cartridge that simply refuses to die. Before we step up to the firing line, do me a solid. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below to feed the algorithm. It keeps this pro-Second Amendment tactical content flowing straight to your screens. Now, let us get our hands dirty. Forged in combat, not the sock drawer. Let us crush the biggest misconception right now. A lot of folks look at a compact revolver today and assume it was engineered specifically to sit in a nightstand and collect dust. That could not be further from the truth. The origin story of the .38 Special is written in combat blood. Back in 1898, during the Philippine-American War, U.S. troops were carrying the .38 Long Colt. They discovered, in the most horrific way possible, that those rounds were failing to stop highly motivated, adrenaline-fueled combatants who would literally absorb multiple hits and keep advancing. The military needed a man-stopper, and they needed it yesterday. The solution was to stretch that brass casing, pack in a heavier powder charge, and top it with a massive 158-grain slug. The sole purpose of this new engineering was to achieve deep penetration, shatter heavy bone structures, and instantly anchor a deadly threat. From the bloody gangland shootouts of the 1920s, right through the volatile drug wars of the 1980s, American law enforcement rode with this caliber. When you grip a vintage Smith & Wesson, you are holding a piece of tactical history that controlled the deadliest streets in the nation. This was never a novelty cartridge. Duty-proven piece of ordnance. Uncompromising close-quarters geometry. If you walk into your local outfitter right now, you are going to see a Smith & Wesson J-frame sitting right alongside modern micro-compacts like the SIG 365. That is not retail nostalgia, folks. That is a testament to raw, functional survival. These 5-shot wheel guns are still selling out everywhere, and the secret lies in their geometry. A revolver features a curved, organic profile that naturally contours to the human waistline. It simply vanishes under a t-shirt in a way that a squared-off, blocky, semi-automatic slide never will. Now, let us be realistic. On a 5-shot cylinder because you are planning to engage a heavily armed syndicate in an open street battle. You carry it because it is the ultimate, uncompromising close-quarters equalizer. I have carried these systems in everything from deep concealment ankle holsters to appendix rigs during the sweltering heat of summer. Here is the tactical advantage that nobody talks about. If a violent attacker is on top of you, and you have to press the muzzle directly into their torso, a semi-auto slide will be pushed out of battery, resulting in a dead trigger. With a revolver, there is no slide to fail. There is no magazine release button to accidentally bump during a wrestling match on the pavement. You draw the weapon, you press the trigger, and it detonates. In the chaotic, terrifying confines of an assault inside a vehicle or a narrow hallway, that flawless mechanical certainty is absolutely priceless. The truth about defensive ballistics. We need to look at the actual ballistic data, because this is where the keyboard experts really show their ignorance. Sure, if you are plinking with the cheapest, lowest-bidding 130-grain range ammo you can find, the Recoil might feel like a toy. But purpose-built defensive ammunition is a completely different beast. We are talking about modern +P defense loads. Stepping up to plus P territory takes your chamber pressure from the standard 17,000 psi and rockets it up to 20,000 psi. That translates directly into a massive surge of kinetic energy dumped into the target. When you load your cylinder with premium hollow points, like a 135 grain plus P projectile, you are stepping right on the heels of standard pressure 9mm performance. Out of a full-sized barrel, you are easily breaking the 1,000 feet per second barrier. Even from a short 2-inch defensive barrel, modern propellants ensure you get enough velocity to violently peel back that hollow point cavity and destroy vital tissue. You just need to confirm your hardware is rated for that pressure. A modern reinforced frame will handle plus P rounds for a lifetime. Piece from the mid-20th century, show it some respect and run standard pressure. But make no mistake, loaded with top-tier defensive ammunition, this caliber is a devastating threat stopper. Recoil management and the combat flinch. The gun community loves to argue caliber sizes until they are blue in the face. Everyone wants to pit 9mm against the .45 or the mighty .357 Magnum, but they completely ignore the most critical metric in a gunfight. That metric is your ability to put consecutive, accurate rounds on target under extreme, life-threatening stress. For decades, the FBI trusted this exact caliber, issuing their legendary 158-grain lead semi-wad cutter hollow point. They did not choose it for the flash. It consistently delivered bone-crushing penetration while remaining entirely manageable for the agents shooting it. I spend countless hours instructing on the range, and I see the same pattern every single week. You hand a new or intermediate shooter one of these ultralight micro 9mm, and the harsh, snappy recoil immediately induces a severe flinch. But when you transition them to a solid, balanced 38 special, their grouping tightens up, and they start hammering the A-zone with absolute authority. In a defensive shooting, overwhelming the central nervous system with perfectly placed shots is what wins the fight. Missing your target with 15 rounds of a high-pressure caliber because you cannot manage the muzzle flip is a recipe for disaster. This wheel gun cartridge allows you to maintain aggressive, rapid-fire accuracy without fighting the weapon's natural recoil impulse. The Double-Action Masterclass. Let us have a moment of complete honesty here, because I do not sugarcoat things for my viewers. A lot of counter jockeys will tell you that a snub-nose revolver is the perfect beginner gun. I fundamentally disagree with that advice. Yes, the manual of arms is incredibly simple, but actually mastering the platform requires serious dedication. The heavy, long, double-action trigger is a ruthless instructor. You are fighting a 10 to 12-pound pull on factory springs, and you have to roll that trigger smoothly straight to the rear without pulling your front sight off the target. More, if you are carrying an ultra-lightweight alloy frame, the laws of physics are going to demand payment. That recoil energy cannot disappear. In a featherweight 15-ounce frame, every ounce of that explosive force gets channeled directly into the bones of your hand. It is snappy, it bites, and it will let you know you pulled the trigger. I have watched big, tough guys put these little pocket guns down after 5 rounds because the palm punishment was just too much. However, there is a massive silver lining. In the dry fire and the live range repetitions to truly master a lightweight double-action wheel gun, you will become an absolute surgeon with any other firearm you pick up. It demands flawless grip tension and perfect trigger isolation. It is a demanding platform, but it will mold you into a master pistolero if you embrace the grind. A reloader's dream. Canvas. For my guys and gals out there who spend their evenings on the reloading press, the 38 Special is absolute royalty. It is undeniably one of the most accommodating and versatile casings you will ever run through your sizing dies. Because you are dealing with a straight-walled cylinder design that operates at very conservative chamber pressures, your brass life is practically infinite. I have batches of brass in my shop that I have reprimed and fired well over 24 times, and they still chamber beautifully. The beauty of this cartridge is that you can completely customize its performance profile. You can seat a light, 148-grain wad cutter over a pinch of fast powder to create a zero-recoil training load that prints tight little clovers on paper. Or you can load it hot with slow-burning powder to mimic the heavy thump of a .357 Magnum for wilderness defense. It is a reloader's dream canvas. You never have to stress about the overall cartridge length causing a nosedive malfunction because there is no feed ramp to negotiate. The round drops straight into the cylinder chamber, and you are ready to rock. If you want to truly grasp the science of internal ballistics and pressure curves, this is the cartridge that will teach you everything you need to know. So, what is the final tactical verdict? Is the .38 Special an outdated relic in the year 2026? Not a chance in hell. There is a very specific reason veteran detectives still strap a wheel gun to their ankle before they hit the streets. There is a reason responsibly armed Americans implicitly trust it to defend their homes and their families. This is a weapon system that thrives exactly when everything else goes completely sideways. It does not care if your grip is compromised during a desperate struggle. It does not care if lint has built up in the mechanism or if the ammunition has been carried for 12 straight months. It simply goes bang. In an era dominated by polymer, striker-fired platforms that demand a rigid shooting foundation to cycle the slide reliably, this classic cartridge remains the ultimate failsafe. I still carry my trusted J-frame when my environment dictates absolute non-permissive concealment. I do not carry it for the nostalgia. I carry it because my life is worth the unwavering reliability it provides. And out in the real world, reliability is the only currency that matters. If you respect the pedigree and the undeniable combat effectiveness of the classic wheel gun, jump into the comments section right now and tell me what defensive load you are carrying. Are you trusting the modern technology of Hornady hollow points? Or are you packing heavy, hard-cast lead for maximum penetration? If you gain some solid intelligence from this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with that one buddy who thinks revolvers are just movie props. Stay sharp, train relentlessly, and I will see you out on the firing line.